I'd like to share with you guys a couple things that I have really liked as a mom of two who recently had a baby just a couple months ago in my hospital bag. I know there's a lot of expecting moms on this app who are scrolling to figure out what other moms have liked and what they're packing in their bags. And I know when I was pregnant with both of my kids, I would come on TikTok and I would see what kind of people are loving, what they're not loving, just to prepare myself a little bit more for a hospital stay. And especially if you've never had a baby, it really is hard to know what to expect. I'm a nurse, but I am not a labor and delivery nurse, so it is certainly not my wheelhouse from that aspect, but I am a mom and I did recently have a baby, so I do have some insight that I would love to offer to you guys. And if you would like to know what I would pack if I were to do it again, I would love to show you. So let's get into it. The first thing, probably the top of my list actually, would be a pillow. Hospital pillows are as uncomfortable as you would imagine. Hospital beds are uncomfortable. I absolutely recommend bringing something that's going to bring you a little bit of comfort while you're recovering, getting used to all of that. Definitely grab your pillow. Make sure that's on the top of your bag when you're walking out the door. Secondly, is probably going to be a cozy blanket, whatever blanket you love. I would suggest kind of a bigger one just because it covers the whole bed, which is nice. Blanket for sure. It is cold. You're not going to be cold in labor, but you are going to be cold likely in postpartum. Really comfy for yourself when you're cuddling your newborn. Very nice item to have with you. Additionally, hospital gown. So I do not bring my own hospital gown with me. I just use what the hospital provides, and you'll find as I go through this that for the most part, I use a lot of what the hospital gives me. Specifically in delivery, I wear those. Some people love to have that Freedom Mom hospital gown. I've never bought that to bring, but my friends who have actually say that it's nice to change into that following delivery. So that's a good option if you're into that. I actually just typically will bring a robe that I like to change into afterwards, and also just like a nightgown sort of deal, where it's like long enough where you don't need to have shorts or pants. It's just a gown. I like the ones that button. I think that's easiest for skin to skin with a newborn and nursing and all of that type of stuff. Probably a dark color if I were to recommend something. Everything as dark as possible. Those two items. Additionally, in labor specifically, a fan. You hear a lot of people talk about this. It is not a myth. You will want a fan. I don't know what it is in labor, your hormones, something like that, you are on fire. So a fan is a very good addition to your hospital bag for sure. Also, on the topic of labor, I would also bring a water bottle. They are going to give you water. You don't need to bring your water bottle. This is just a comfort thing for me. I like to bring that. You're going to want to stay hydrated during labor, and of course like in postpartum and stuff like that. I would recommend bringing some maybe like electrolyte packets. I don't have any with me right now, but I would definitely recommend that. Just adds flavor to your water, gives you extra hydration that you need. It's a good add. Also during labor, they're gonna give you like ice chips and stuff like that, but like chewing gum helps with nausea, mints, stuff like that. The hospital is very dry, so your mouth's gonna be very dry. Let's see. As far as postpartum care essentials, again, I use basically everything the hospital has to offer. The one thing that I do bring that is not overhyped, that is worth it, is the Freedom Mom Peri bottle. This is great. I use this obviously postpartum at home, but I also do bring it to the hospital. If you don't want to buy this, it is fine. You can use the hospital's Peri bottles and bring those home. They will work just fine. This is just a nice addition. It does work well. I do like it. Phone charger. Certainly going to want a phone charger. You're going to want your iPhone or whatever, your cell phone charged with you. I would recommend one that's going to be a longer cord. Outlets in hospitals are sporadic around the room. You never know where they're going to be. You want to be able to snuggle your newborn and charge your phone if you need to. So definitely an iPhone charger. Some people do bring like a Polaroid camera, which I think is super cute. I don't have one, so I don't bring one. But if I did, I think it's a cute addition to have with you. Two other things postpartum wise that I think are helpful if you are planning to breastfeed, things like that. Silverettes. These are a healing miracle for sure. And then the hospital will give you like nipple cream and stuff like that. I did bring my own. That's total preference. They will have it if you don't want to bring your own. They'll have it there too. Going home wise, I'd like to bring a matching set purely because it's simple and it's easy. Something comfortable. I got like a super reasonable set off of Amazon. Pack it in your bag. You don't have to think about it again. You can throw it on. Just something that's comfortable. Doesn't matter what it is, something that's really comfortable for you is what I would recommend. I do bring like a nursing tank just to wear underneath my outfit. 2 nursing bras, I do bring those just for options to wear underneath your gown during labor, whatever your preference is. 2 of those. Let's see. I do bring a nursing pillow. I do recommend this, I think this is called my breast friend pillow. I do recommend this over the Boppy pillow. But once again, if you are choosing to do that, you're gonna meet with like the lactation consultant at the hospital, stuff like that. They can prop you up with pillows if you don't wanna bring your own, if you're going that route at all. So totally up to you. It's a nice addition if you want to bring that. Showering, the first shower after having a baby is a great experience, honestly. I would bring shower shoes. Any shoes that you don't care about. These are just an example. Honestly, my son, I think I went to Old Navy and got a pair of flip-flops that were like $3. I brought those and I left them there. Great option. But you do want shower shoes. Highly recommend. And then just like some cosmetics. So body wash, shampoo, conditioner, face wash, that type of stuff. Deodorant. What else do I have in here? I don't really bring any makeup so much. I do bring, like, this is like a tinted SPF. Super easy. I throw that on. I do bring my hairbrush, and then lip moisturizer of some kind. Chapstick, lip mask, whatever. Hospitals, like I said, are very dry. You're going to want something to keep yourself moisturized. Highly recommend that. Something else that I got as a tip on TikTok was to bring a folder for all the documents. You get a ton of paperwork when you have a baby, and there's so many things you're thinking about that you have to worry about. I would highly recommend a folder that you can keep all of these documents in one spot, so when you need to reference them in the weeks, the coming months, stuff like that, they're in one location and you can forget about it. You don't have to worry like, where did I put this? Where did I put this? All together in one spot, everything you need. Definitely something I would certainly recommend. As far as for baby, very limited what I bring for baby. My kids typically will literally stay in that swaddle and the hospital onesie that they give pretty much the entire time they are there. I did this time around just bring 2 little zip-up sleepers. With my son, I had him in this really cute 2-piece little outfit, and honestly, it was so hard to get him dressed. Newborns are very hard to put in a 2-piece outfit. I would go very simple if I could do that again with him. With my daughter, I just put her in a little zip-up onesie to bring home. Very easy. I have them wear the hats the hospital gives them. Like this was my daughter's. It just has like the little bow that they make on there. Same thing with a pacifier. I just use the hospital pacifiers they provide. Diapers, wipes, all of that. I use everything that they have. I do bring a little burp cloth. I'm sure kind of an extra you may not need. If you have a name sign, something like that, kind of a cute little thing you can do, take pictures in their bassinet there if you'd like to. Let's see. Snacks are something you're gonna wanna pack. I had like a separate bag of snacks for my husband and I. Kind of a nice thing. I mean, there's hospital food or whatever, but you want your own probably snacks, you know? So I would definitely recommend some snacks. I think that is the majority of everything that I would recommend. It's honestly not that much, and I have found that you think you need all of this stuff, and really you're just so absorbed in your new baby that you hardly are even opening your bag, is what I have found. So I use all of what the hospital provides me as far as postpartum care, kind of a lot of the baby essentials. I use what they have, and then the extras are just kind of like luxury things for me that I like, but still very minimal stuff that I can fit in. Like I like to use like a roller bag just out of convenience of carrying things in and out, and especially when you're leaving, you've got a car seat, you've got all of this stuff. It's a lot easier in a roller bag, so recommend a roller bag for sure. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that I bring. Other than the car seat, definitely gonna want a car seat. You're not gonna forget that, don't worry. But definitely a car seat. Everything else, I think that's all that I used. And like I said, I just had a baby recently, and pretty much everything I showed you I did use, but other than that, if you forget something, it's fine. This is just a guide. Do whatever you want. Whatever is gonna make you feel better, bring that. But this is the stuff that I really used. Thanks for watching.